Mike Murdock, 77 years old, 57 years traveling in ministry and impacting 92 countries in person and in TV. And I want to say first, thank you for standing beside me, walking with me these many years as a partner. I couldn't be on TV, radio, every week in Jerusalem, Israel, etc. I love books. Books have changed my world. One statement in a billionaire's book changed my whole ministry. Went into computers at 58 years old. Another book, Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill, impacted me. The Magic of Thinking Big, by Claude Bristol. I especially love biographies, but this is a book I wrote and published this week. 77 Wisdom Keys for Preachers. At the end, I'll show you how to get your copy. I love preachers. Preachers give their whole lives to helping people. I pastored 20 years at the Wisdom Center. Built a great work. But these are some of my keys for preachers. Preach. Number one, until people, this is how it looks like inside. Preach until people see the goodness of God. God built his world around humans, people like us. He wanted us to know his goodness, his caring. There's two kinds of ministries. One teaches on the consequences of rebellion. The other kind of ministry teaches on the rewards of obeying God. My father was a pastor over 60 years, fabulous prayer man, obsessed with intercession, 4 hours plus a day. He built 7 churches, had 7 children that lived. But he had not been taught the reward system and the love side of God. God was a judge to him. He was a strong disciplinarian. I have a little wisdom key that whoever teaches you first wins. We never forget what someone taught us at 5 years old, 6 years old. When I was 4, the most impactful voice in my life at 4 years old was a lady named Leon Logan. And at 4 years old, I followed her around the children's church for my father in Orange, Texas. And she was very, very controlling, very inspiring. And she kept telling me, Michael Dean. Only she said, Michael Dean. She was French Cajun. Cajun French, we call them. Reminds me of Jesse Duplantis, whose grandmother came to the Lord under my father in Franklin, Louisiana. But preach until people see the goodness of God. God has a soft side. God has a kind side. But if people don't hear it, they will never know it. Wisdom keys. What you don't hear, you don't learn. What you don't hear twice, you don't remember. Oral Roberts taught me 13 secrets. And one thing that he emphasized constantly was the necessity of repetition. He said, nobody remembers. And he said, the biggest mistake a pastor will make is trying to preach a different subject every Sunday. But tell them about the goodness of God. And for sure, in the service on the goodness of God. With positive statements. I really liked Robert Shooter when he was alive. If you ever went to his place called Crystal Cathedral, a lot of famous people sat under his ministry. Crystal Cathedral is gorgeous. But he would always end and start. He had Numbers chapter 6 down. I'll tell you about that later. Preach. Preach until hope arrives. Most people don't live in an environment of encouragement. They live in an environment of criticism, fault finding. One of my funny wisdom keys is God gave you a family to prepare you for your enemies. Your family is your learning environment. It's your first school where you learn conversation. You learn adaptation, negotiation. Home is the survival place, but it's also a place where you can talk things out and carry things out. So when you get up to preach, oh, let hope. Look at your sermon. Don't just talk about the mistakes you made. Say how you can survive the worst seasons of your life. You're going to survive. You're going to learn. You're going to multiply. At any rate, this is a book that's filled with 77. Can you see it okay? It's book 777, deliberately numbered for that. I'll pay the shipping and handling. It's 48 pages, $5. And I want to show you, if you want to get 5 copies, you can have them for just $2 each. 5 copies for 5 preachers you know. But all the wisdom keys will fit your life. And here's how you can have your copies if you want to write that down. Area code 817-759 book 2665. 48 pages. It's a gold mine. You want to carry it around. I'm carrying it with me every day in my hand because it's so filled with encouragement. You want it? I hope you'll call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is part 1. I'm going to do another 7-minute talk with you. Thank you. Thank you for loving the wisdom of God.